Well, in other news, Water and Sanitation Minister Nomvula Monkonyane will today visit voting stations in Kwazulu-Natal. Now, the water situation in the province has been dire. But for more on the minister's visit, we're now joined live from Lemontville near Durban by reporter Mlungisi Khumalo. Mlungisi, a very warm good morning to you. Welcome to AM News. Now, it's day 2 of the voters' registration. Tell us how it went in the province yesterday and what we can expect today.
Well, basically, yesterday's voting procedures were all intact, and people went out in their numbers to register and vote. We do also know and understand that Kwazulu-Natal was one of the provinces that had trouble in terms of voters coming through to register. There were a bit of glitches there and there. There were a bit of strikes along the roads where people barricaded roads and demanded that they needed water and electricity, and demanded that any voting stations in the area should be kicked out unless they have the minister herself to come and address them. But all in all, it did go smoothly, and a few people did manage to get their names verified, and those who wanted to register for the first time did come through in their numbers to vote, to register rather. Yesterday we went through to the president's hometown of Nkandla, where the first citizen led by example, where he registered and showed the whole of South Africa how it's done, and that went very smoothly. But all in all, there weren't any serious cases reported.
Let's talk about, of course, the minister's visit today. We understand that Minister Nomvula Monkonyane will be making her way, of course, in KwaZulu-Natal, of course, to encourage residents to register to vote. Now, with the situation in KwaZulu-Natal, that is, the water crisis, the drought that's occurring in the province right now, what can we expect from the minister's visit today?
Well, first and foremost, we do know that KwaZulu-Natal last year was declared a disaster zone. Last year in October, it was declared a disaster zone. We do know that the MEC for Kokta Nomusa Dube said that government had injected 300 million in order to fight this drought in the province. But we've now just found out that a further 600 million has been spent to try and fight droughts in the province. So it's going to be a very, very tricky one for the Minister of Water and Sanitation, as we know that in two places, Folweni and Kwatuguza, which is up and in Stenga, where people did barricade road demanding that they wanted water. In some instances, they did mention that they had had no water for the last 7 days, and there had not been any deliveries of water there in the last 7 days. In KwaZulu-Natal, the water situation is very, very dire. Taps have gone dry. They trickle by few. Dams have gone dry. Livestock are dying, and farmers are looking for intervention from governments. We do know that the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Nomvula Monkonyane, is going to come here in Lemontville, where she's going to try and tell voters or those who are registering to vote that no, government has this at hand, and they do have ways and means of fighting this drought. She's also going to go and do a door-to-door campaign here in Lemontville, and thereafter she's going to address the community of Lemontville. And we've also learned from the municipality that most areas here in Durban, or rather the whole of KZN, where municipalities are going to have their water supply reduced by 15%, which is a rather large percentage. But a reason for this, the MEC for Kokta did mention that if this reduction of 15% is not carried out, then we will have no water come the end of 2016. Right here with me, I've got a voter who is going to register. She has been voting since 1994, and she's coming to tell us how she feels of the minister's visit and how she feels as being a person who's going to register here today. Rosemary, how do you feel today?
Actually, I feel very proud, even to be a South African citizen. Since 1994, we have seen our government. There is a lot of things that has been done by our government, like electricity, water, houses, a lot of things that we have seen. And that is the reason why I am here and I will always come and vote when it comes to vote.
Rosemary, from government, they did mention that they were going to reduce water supply in the municipality by 15%. How does that make you feel as a voter?
Yes, I do understand that, because our government is trying all its best to supply water, even though there is this problem. But I'm sure our government is trying they're trying all their best.
Yes. There we have it, from a register herself and from a voter herself, a very understanding citizen in our country. I'm here at the Lamontville in one of the voting stations, and if you can see behind me, it's quite busy, and a lot of people are here today in their numbers to register to vote. Again, it's a scorching day. It's extremely hot, but nonetheless, they are here in their numbers. So in a short while, in a few minutes, we are expecting the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Nomvula Monkonyane, to come through to us and address the crowds, and also go ahead with her door-to-door campaign, where she will be beguiling first-time voters and those who have not registered to go out there and register. Back to you in studio.